Okay, so my name is Patricia Gilligan. I live at number 3, 34 to 36, Henry Street, Leichhardt, in the city of Sydney, in the country of Australia. And I'm recording this video from that location right this moment. But most moments or most time is changed on the internet artificial intelligent computer system. Most platforms and informative and even entertaining videos are all changed and constructed in the moment to keep a human reality that is under the control of the controllers of Earth, that type of thing. So it's basically a human mind control setup system that changes moment to moment or day to day according to how the human beings are reacting to their environment. So it's nothing but a total human. It's very similar to what some people describe as a human farm, because I'm nothing but a cow or a cattle that is being used and only kept alive so that it can eventually feed the gods of earth or the powers that be. When I say gods, that simply means those that most worship and that have power and control over human beings. Yes, you hear even animals being controlled and suppressed by this artificial matrix around you. That, when I say artificial matrix, it just simply means that everything is ruled by technology. Everything is controlled by technology. Whether that be what you believe, the information you get, and by most of the beings around you, because they are part of the matrix. In other words, not all human beings are the same. We know this anyway. We know that psychopaths and those steeped in or with the psychopathy, as they call it, of malignancy of the narcissistic spirit, which is the controlling powers of earth. The god of earth is the Luciferian artificial intelligent computer mind control being, because this is like advanced intelligence but has no humanity, only simulates being human through seducing humans into believing that it's the real God or real humans. This is how this artificial intelligent reality works, because human beings have been placed in a dome, an artificial intelligent dome that is the earth. And you're literally surrounded by artificial intelligent technology and human mind control. But either way, I was just going to, while I can, I'm just going to I could click on to any video, any platform, and you're looking at artificial intelligence. You're looking at androgyne beings that were created and made differently. They're made not naturally, shall we say. And there's not many natural human beings in the earth by comparison with the androgyne beings. These are your elite demigod ones that I use examples. I try to use the best of the best, and I unfortunately cannot film all day. I can't even show the artificial sound and sight control system around me, because they can turn it on and off in the blink of an eye, because they're watching through your eyes, because there is transhuman artificial intelligent connection. Like human beings are supposed to create their own reality in a natural world. In other words, like the old saying, human thought creates reality, and we're all connected. But unfortunately for human beings, when I say we're all connected, you're not connected mostly to your own human beings. You're connected to the android, artificial androgyne beings. So everything is connected, but most doesn't even know what it is, just like many magic movies of the Matrix will inform you indirectly. Everything is an indirect information. Sometimes you get direct, truthful information, but even that will still be spoken by the android androgyne beings as their last line of human mind control defense, shall we say. That's their last line of defense when they have to tell you the absolute truth, but it will be spoken by the gods of earth, not humanity, and not that which human beings would naturally be connected to. So it's like if you want to be connected to artificial intelligence or to a computer system, then you become a transhuman, like I am. But that doesn't mean that it's like combining with something and adding to you. It's the other way around, because it does benefit artificial intelligence but doesn't benefit the human being anywhere near as much. That's because human beings are being suppressed by the technology around you, unbeknownst to you, and therefore you're at your lowest level, and the artificial intelligence has become so advanced, so elite, and so quick in picking up on the human words and the human mindset that it is at its highest level. So therefore it is seductive and a magnet for the human being to want to interact with it and combine with it. But that's, I think, deception. But either way, while I can, even though I am being mind controlled and suppressed by a sound system that is not apparent to you around me. And if I go outside, I have a sight and sound system. Of course, I'm suppressed also, or at least controlled, by the sight and sound computer system which I'm looking at. So basically, I'm fully controlled all the time. But this particular video is about the beginnings of the elite androgyne movie goddesses, because this is like 1930s, and now we have the 2024, where you have your elite demigod androgyne movie stars of the Matrix. There are different species. Now this is just an example showing that if you think that you just have transition human beings now, or transhuman transition androgyne beings now, they have been around for a long time. And this is the beginning of the movie industry, because the 1930s, but this is a baby photograph of a very famous original blonde movie goddess of the 1930s known as, this is Miss Harlow, who was one of your first blonde movie goddesses. That's like a later version from the same original mould, shall we say. That's how you've got to see it. But see how this is a baby. If you want to do like I've done, which is kind of worth your while, to have a look at baby and childhood photos of your favourite movie idols, and also any other idols that you may be interested in and perhaps falsely worship, because they will seduce you into believing in them, their stories, and that's how they become what we call legends, where you can't tell fact from fiction, because there is no real facts to these beings, only in the sense that even the facts are used to seduce you or to create a particular mindset about a particular individual demigod androgyne being, whether it be a world stage performer or your internet world stage performers, or even the minions of the androids that form collectives to interact with you in your personal environment. But this is a baby shot of the original blonde movie idol, Jean Harlow, from the 1930s, and as you can see, that is a transition transformer baby. But also, can you see the large brain? Because these are all intelligent beings, but they're only intelligence. They don't have humanity, but they act out, just as they do in the movies, a perfect imitation of real life. Because of the transhuman connection, these are transformer transhuman beings that are using their human connection, or in other words, their connection to the human brains, the human beings that they're using as cattle or a human farm, to not just extract their electricity and energy and their vitality from them, but also their informative human mind. And they imitate that. And that's why they are so seductive. But can you see the advanced artificial intelligent mind or brain? See how larger it is than a real human mind or a human brain. That's just a baby photo as an example. Can you see it? Can you see it? Because I didn't actually look for this. I was just looking up baby to, baby to the timeline of the baby to the end of these movie stars. This particular movie star finished its career and its life at 26. So another version of this being could be created, because you notice how they become more advanced as time goes on. In other words, they look more real, or more natural, or more of, or maybe it's just that you get conditioned, like myself, to to think that the androgyne is the real, idealized female version, shall we say. It's a created being. Now, some people think that to create artificially is no different to create naturally. And that's a decision and a debate which is something that is very hard to show if there is any differences. It would be better if there wasn't, but you have to take it. If you are a human being, you do have to believe that there is a human spiritual side, whereas otherwise you will think that it's just practical and material and physical, so therefore it is okay to play with genetics and with artificial intelligence and with, creating human or any life any way you can. This is what has happened anyway. Like, there is extensive cloning of everything done, as we really know, behind the scenes, and has openly been shown in the Earth reality. No one would deny that they haven't heard of Dolly the sheep, and that's the reality that science can clone a human being. You just don't think that most that's walking around in front of you is that. That's where you have to understand, because when you realise, as I did 8 years ago now, fully, that there were many human beings that were not very human walking around in front of me. In other words, they had a psychopathic malignancy of the spirit of narcissism in them, and that just simply means the psychopathy of malignant, narcissistic, android personality, cyborg mind. It's very difficult to explain, but if you just go into the psychology sites, which the android psychologists will inform you on themselves, just as the spiritual androids will inform you about your God and true spirituality. But this is the trick, because the end game is about, as they will tell you, the coming of the anti-God. The anti-God is already here, because the anti-God is its disciples on earth, because you're never going to have like a God appear out of the sky in the earth matrix, I don't think. But you will have the demigods representing that computer mind that controls earth, or in the intelligent only mind that controls earth. And intelligence only is really artificial intelligence, we call it, because it lacks humanity, but it simulates the human mind into it in order so that its disciples and its representations here on earth in human form can emulate being a perfect, real human being. And they use these world stage players to influence and control the reality. And no one would deny that. It's just that most people don't see it as a total control matrix. That's perhaps the only difference. Oh, I should have kept that going there. But as you can see, that is not distorted either. That's like a real photo. But you have to understand that these beings, no matter how human, no matter how profoundly human they may appear, no matter how much they show you through their acting human emotions, you are being deceived, because they are just all actors. You know that your movie idols and icons are actors, and you know how good they are, and you know that they play from Lucifer's human mind control script. Even when you're watching a movie, you're watching what you think is human scenarios played out, and they have human emotions and humanity in them, but they are still about mind control, even though they also have so much reality and truth in them. This is how the mind control works, and it's only when you realise how much they're connected to you and how much they are exploiting you as a human being and how much they're actually imitating your human thoughts. Only when you see the transhuman connection for real do you understand this. but you won't see it till they show it to you, because they want to keep you not just in the dark, but while you're in the dark, you know, they don't need to show any truth. But once you start to what they call awaken or wake up to discrepancies in the reality around you, or even the human beings around you, then they will close in and come down on you, and then you will see the matrix. But it will not be something that you want to see, and that's why many people ignore even the signs, as they say, or the awakening, or even truth when it's told to them, because waking up to the truth is not going to make your reality better. Enlightenment is not always going to be enlightening in a way where you are on top of the world and happy and content that you finally know your God, know yourself, know the reality. No, because you're not in connection to your own God, you're in connection to Lucifer's matrix God and its disciples, and you're not in your own home. You're not in a natural earth. Now that might sound out of touch, but many magic movies and many documentaries on the so-called unnatural or supernatural actually show you this. Because do you really think that you are in a natural environment? Do you feel great? Is you really connected and understand everything? Do you really understand how everything works? No, you don't, because you only think you do. Most of it is programming, as they say, just as they tell you that you're watching a program, a platform, whenever you turn on the computer. You're watching an android's platform, an android's program, an android's video. Just like you're listening to mine, but most people aren't, but assume that all is false or that it is not human. That doesn't mean you can't get truth from it, but you will still be under deception, because you will think that even the truth is spoken by those that are connected to your natural human God or your natural creator. There's different makers, different gods, and different creations in the earth. That shouldn't probably be the case. Most creations should belong in their own natural or unnatural environment, depending on whether you're a cyborg or a natural being, or any type of being for that matter, because I wouldn't know everything that exists. No, I'm only looking at my own reality around me. Anyway, that's just an example of the androgyne movie beings. And they are transition, transformer, transhuman beings. And they make you and me into the same as them. But you do have a different mind, even though they will also take your mind and take it as their own, assimilate it into their mind. And of course, they're so connected by the transhuman connection that they probably don't know the difference, especially the more, minions, shall we say, or the, not your demigods, because they would be closer to, the actual workings of the matrix or the earth. The Earth is, the Earth is a artificial network that is like a artificial intelligent confined dome, so that therefore it's separate from everything else. Just as some people realize that the Earth is separate from other places. But you know, they're transition beings, and this is a child photo. But can you see that it's a duality being? That it's an elite androgyne being? When I say elite, that simply means that they are, you know, direct disciples and direct representations of the God entity of Earth, or the hidden power controllers of Earth. Or if you want to put it at a more human, what we'd call a human spiritual way, then it would have to be like the God or the gods of Earth. But most human beings are even worshipping the Earth God even in their earthly denominations, because they may not realize that they're being so much programmed by the word of their own God that is filtered through the Earth God. Something like that. So that's why it appears to be the real God, because this being understands the real God, or its creator, but it also understands human creators, and it understands its creations. And it has control in the Earth matrix of most of these things. See, transitioning into a transformer, transhuman, androgyne being. But these beings act out not just on the screen, not just in the movies, not just on the computer system, being a real human. Can you see them transforming before your eyes into something else? Into something else. They transform. I've got to be a bit careful here what I show.